3, 2, 1. Hey guys, El here, and today we're going to be starting a new series. It's going to be everything right with, whenever I'm going to dissect multiple games and say everything that's right with them and pick out the good things in them. This episode we're going to be doing Elsword, so before I start this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I'm going to be doing more of this content on different games. So first of all, what's good about Elsword is the class system. There are 12 different characters, and then each of them has 3 different classes except for Rose, as she has 4, which is a total of 37 different classes. This is really good because most MMOs have limited classes. Like, usually they have like 10 different classes, and then here's just an example, 10 different classes, and then they have good character customization. So it has very good customization. Sure, it also doesn't have the best customization, but it has lots of classes. So it's how most MMOs the situation is. They have 10 classes, and then they have like good character customization. Then it's just 10 different play styles. Where in Elsword it has more like 37, and some classes have more than one play style if you choose to play differently. Also, the skill tree is it's alright. It's like it's a normal skill tree. You get more levels, you get more skills. But also, whenever you're higher level, it levels up your passive. So, for example, the level 15 passive, that's for your first job. Then you levels up at level 31. Then I think it's like 50 something. Then the last one's 83. I know that one for sure, but I don't remember any of the other ones, so don't ask me about that. So also, all of your skills get enhanced every time you advance. For example, your base skills, once you get to first job, then you your skill get enhanced, which everyone has like a change, but like it would be nice if everyone had like a drastic change. Most of them just have a 1.2 times damage increase, which that's alright and all. And some of them, like Shadow Step, has new effects. He can it's if you press X instead of using Z and dashing forward and piercing forward, he throws out grenades. Like he does a backflip and throws out grenades. Or an upgrade like reload. The basic reload, it gives 1 cannonball. Thing is, once you enhance it, then it gives you 3, which that 3 cannonball thing is really good for a class like Comet Crusader, which has limited cannonballs and not a good way of getting cannonballs besides Awakening. Another thing that the second thing is the UI is very nice and clean. I just like its aesthetic, and like that it has HP, then below that it's MP, and then below that is any system that the character has, and then to the left of all that is portrait of the character, and then it has like your level above that, etc. And then it has your skills on the bottom, though you can move the skills around, and you can move the your special skill, which is default to V. And then it's a V, right? Yeah, it's V. I play Chung, so like I don't know. I don't have a special key. So also you can change your change where the what's it call it? The quick slots are. So yeah, you can change some of that things, and you can increase the size, decrease the size, whatever you want to do with that. So the UI is really nice and clean, and it's customizationable, and also customizable. The skill cuttings are a really good thing. Most Western MMOs don't have skill cuttings because we're too cool for that. We're Western, boom. But yeah, that's a really good thing. Which skill cuttings just like makes that skills seem more dynamic and more explosive, if I have to say. So just all in all, skill cuttings are a really good thing. And the skill slots, as I said before, are nice and clean. Like they are separate. Like they're like instead of, for example, closers, all of the skills, they're on like one giant thing. But I'm pretty sure it's not closer. My mind usually messes this up type of thing up. But like the skill slots, they're all like separate. They're close to each other, but they're separate. And then like you can move them around, so that's really good. Also, skill frames were a good feature as well. Whenever you use your skill, it has a skill cutting, but also there's a skill frame around that, which they were removed once before, but they re-added them. I'm pretty sure about that. It's a really good addition because it just makes the skills, as I said before, with the skill cuttings, make them seem more dynamic. Also, the buttons, at that's the bottom right of the buttons at the bottom right of the screen. They open the menus. It fits the game, like all the UI. It fixes the game. Fits the game. The graphics of this game is really nice. I know that graphics are subjective, but if you want to think about them objectively, they're really just polished and really flashy and things like that. And the effects of the skills are really nice. For example, Pandemonium is the one that comes to mind when we're looking at flashy. It's just really flashy, and also Bloodlust is really flashy as well. Anything else flashiness? A Shockwave, or whatchamacallit, Furious Blades Hyperactive Final Blade. Just all of them are really nice and flashy. And also, it's nice to see in an MMO with a warrior class like Knight Emperor has flashy skills, like his Windmill or Armageddon Blade, or his Immortal Blow, or Double Slash, or whatchamacallit, like his Double Slash, his what's that level 95 skill? It's I do not know. I'm thinking Land Crusher, but that's Diablo's skill. I don't. Nope, that's wrong as well. But Imperial Crusher is another good skill. Just saying that the warrior class has really flashy skills. And also, the animations of all the skills are nice. They usually have some type of animation. Like if we just go by Pandemonium, he like goes, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but like it's just really good animation. And some select skills have nice additions. Like for example, Rune Master's Hyperactive Eclipse. He does a peace sign at the end. And Knight Emperor, his eyes glow blue during the hyperactive, which is a effect that only third job Knight Emperor, as in third job light Lord Knight, which his Knight Emperor has. Character customization of this game, obviously there's no initial character customization, but you can really customize the characters with accessories, with costumes, etc., which just make it so that your character looks pretty good. And recently they added the new motion, which is like the selfie motion, which people have made it like a thing to like take a bunch of selfies of their character, and it's pretty just cool overall with the customization there. And if you don't like what your character looks like, then you can just get different costumes, etc. Though of course there's not a way to get costumes besides just either item all or on the board, which yeah, sure, that's kind of a down thing, but overall the character customization is just overall all good. Just stuttering though. The story might not be the best, but the lore of the characters is really in depth. The story is like something about, like, it starts as bandits are stealing the L, then the L is there, and then Wally's doing this, Wally's over here, then it's Nassads, then it's demons, then you fight more demons, and you fight even more demons, and then you go to Hamel to save Chung's family, but then you see Rand there, and then Rand, and then you just skip to Sander, and then find these priestesses, etc. So the lore is just kind of just generic thing, whatever. But the characters, each of the characters have, so that means 12 different stories, and each of the characters' lore is really in depth. Which, you know, it is a character-based MMO, so you kind of need the story to be good, or else it's just kind of just meh. Certain things in the story, like the overall story, are good, like L Masters, Priestesses, and the L in general, which those are really like more expanded upon on Lanox, Elysion, and Elrenode, which is the end game, like late game through end game. Also, the characters have they have a character story quest inside the game that you can accept and then you complete to learn about your character's backstory. They're like, I don't remember the number, like 9, 7, something like that, different quests, and it's like a chain quest, and you just complete all of them, and then you could have the flashback of your character. Dungeons, they might not be the best whenever you have to repeat them over and over again, but whenever you go into a newly released dungeon, like for example, the first time whenever 11-6, which is Forgotten Elrian Sanctum, was released, it felt really fresh and new, and like I just wanted to run it a lot, which, you know, I've run that dungeon over 100 times, you know, and haven't gotten that Elrenode Weapon Guard from a drop. A guildie had to give it to me, which is sad how I've read it 100 times and I didn't get it. It was sad. But this is a good video, right? So let's not talk about RNG and stuff like that. Yeah, the soundtracks of dungeons are really good. Especially for Elrenode. I really like the Elrenode. I can call it Elrenode. I'm realizing that I call it Elrenode. It's Elrenode. The soundtrack of them are really good. Each dungeon has a different layout, so you have to get used to them to play efficiently. Bosses usually have a gimmick that you have to watch for. What else? Like for example, again, 11-6 is El Reno Days. Sectum. What? Sactum. Forgotten Elrian Sactum. The boss you have to Diet and then knock down it 5 times per party member. It's gonna say this game will occupy your time whenever you're playing it, though if you get into it, then you'll just enjoy it. It's pretty fun. The dungeons, doing the dungeons, etc.
Hey, you're here. You're here.
Obviously, it has some staple MMO things like the board, the skill tree, guilds, party, etc. That's all good stuff. Now onto the combat. The combat inside of PvE, the combat overall is good, but if you want to narrow it down, inside PvE, skills are flashy like I said before. They have effects and buffs and debuffs, like for example, Pandemonium or Rapid Guardian that you have to manage. And it makes it pretty dynamic whenever, you know, you aren't one-shotting everything, of course. If you want to play differently than the meta, you can just go do that and have fun, as you know, you should be playing your character, not playing the meta. So yeah, inside PvP, there's knockdown, there's mana breaking and doing combos. Knockdown, making it so that reducing knockdown value is essential. Mana breaking prevents infinite combos, and combos in general are fun to create and perform. If you don't have busted gear, of course. Mixing the Z and X keys and giving each class numerous combos was a very good idea that Elsword did. What is happening is like, you attack with the Z and X keys. Z is usually a light attack, X is usually a heavy attack. I'm not sure about all that. It's just more of just think of it as 2 different keys for different combos, and then I guess if you want to say Z is light, then X is heavy. Then you mix these keys into the numerous combos that each class has, which makes the class really diverse, and you have tons of combos. You can be competitive in PvP, you know, though this is an everything alright video, so I'll leave it as have fun with our arena, alright? Just have fun with it. The game, it gives a very anime/manga feel, which it was trying to portray. That's pretty much what it was trying to portray the whole time. You know, with its graphics, with the ads that say, play your manga, and then now on the anime, it says, play your anime. Like, recently has been saying, play your anime, since it has the anime, all 12 episodes out. So if you want to go watch them, you know. They're alright. They're alright. Not saying it's anything good. I'm pretty sure I dropped at, like, at episode 5 or something like that. So, you know, yeah, I don't remember. So, usually whenever I don't remember what episode I'm on for an anime, I just drop the series, because I'm not gonna just try to guess and then spoil myself. But that's kind of a bit off topic. So yeah, and the graphics and the flashy effects communicate this very anime feeling. So guys, that's pretty much it for everything right with Elsword. Elsword probably has more things, but this is just all the things I could have on my mind right now, and things that in general MMOs should try to have, like good graphics, lots of classes, good UI, character customization, a good lore in the characters, and good lore in the story, which Elsword may not have the good story lore, but it should have, it's like it's have an ideal MMO. It should have a good story, and the characters lore should be in-depth as well. Dungeons should be interacting, engaging, dynamic. A soundtrack should be really good. Dungeons should have different layout, etc. It should have the staple MMO things like market, skills, guilds, and parties. You should have good combat, like with different dynamics to it and different systems for the combat. And it should just really try to portray what it's trying to portray, or else it's not really going to be a very good MMO, though most MMOs usually do this part right. This video may be shutting down bad things in the game, like shutting out the bad things, not shutting down. Like for example, there are a bunch of things that I'm not putting inside this video, but this is just the series that's supposed to be everything right with. So yeah, the point of this series is to look at all the positives in the game, rather than a game developer. Okay, I'm kind of reading a script right now. Let me put this into my own words, all right? So, pretty much, a developer. Would you rather have a developer that adds new good content and then looks at the things like that the community says feedback, like bugs and different things that they could change, and look at them and then decide based on the community, or should the developers just be searching for bad things and not adding any content, and then not even have time to look for the good things that the community is requesting? But they should have a balance between these two viewpoints in general. So yeah, this is gonna be my first video for this series, so I decided just to add that little part at the end because I just wanted to portray what this series is gonna be about. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be the end of this episode. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I'll be doing more everything right with videos on different games, and I'll be playing different games, reviewing different games, doing all this stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be the end of this episode. Please leave a like and subscribe. Watashi wa El-Desu. Logging out.